Life. Boom. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, all over the world, for all the PVs. Today we have a very special YouTuber and one guy who do lots of for the PVs. You can see lots of videos. It comes from USA, and today is with us. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for you to come to take a little of your time, because your precious time is always in YouTube making stuff for all of us.
Yeah, of course.
Stuff and things. That is the important. First of all, my friend, I just want to say to everybody, I have all the links there for you guys if you want to go there. I think everybody knows him, but I'm going to put it there. That is the website, the YouTube channel. Always, how many times do you make in a week videos in a moment?
As of right now, I'm posting 3 videos a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, on this main channel here. I have a
Mhm.
second channel, which is for other stuff. I'm posting there every other week. So generally 3 to 4 videos and photos and Instagram reels like a week. So I
So,
post quite
guys,
a bit.
you have Instagram, you have Twitter, you have platforms is enough there. I think I don't need to show it here. That is not the important thing we have here. We're going to show some videos. First of all, like always, my friend, I'm going to start with the first question. How everything started, my friend?
It all started, man. I was consuming a lot of YouTube. I think I'm on my 6th year of YouTube now.
Uh-huh.
And I was just consuming a lot of YouTube, traveling a lot, watching videos of my own hobby. And then because I have so many hobbies, I was just like, I know how to run a camera. I've made videos in the past, like this one right here, the very first video. So I just started vlogging.
That is the vlog number one.
Yeah, 001. I carried my camera around to my friend's birthday, and we just were drinking, partying, and that's kind of how it started. So from there, I just continued to do that. I challenged myself to make 1 video a week for an entire year, and then next thing you know, it's full time. That's what I do. Kind of crazy how it happened.
But when you start, the first name was direct stuff and things, or how
Bef-
do you start?
So I just started by numbering the vlogs. I was like, this is my first one, second, third, fourth. And then I think I got to probably like 60 or 70 videos. And I was like, I should make this like a TV show, kind of like give it a name, give it a title. So then I called it Stuff and Things. And it's not like the material definition behind Stuff and Things. It was more like I'm doing a lot of stuff and I'm covering a lot of different things. So as I travel the country, I just sort of I never pigeonholed myself into one topic. Like I'm not just electric vehicles, I'm not
Mhm.
just motorcycles. It's just a wide range of stuff, which is generally not good for a YouTube channel. It's good to kind of be in a niche, but I never subscribe to that mentality. So I just kind of do a little bit of everything, and some stuff sticks, some stuff doesn't. And I'm just continuing doing whatever I find interesting.
I'm just going to tell you, my friend, I love the way you do it, because I think sometimes if you see the same, it's going to be boring, and you give the options for the people to choose. And you have so many types. Today, you are doing like a venture with your vans and everything. You have lots of bikes. You have lots of. That's why I tell to everybody, if you have the chance, goes to his channel. You're going to see guns, knives, everything. Do you do? I think you don't do anymore the unboxings today.
I do on my own time, but I used to have a public post office box where I would let people who watch my videos send
Hmm.
just random packages, and I did that for a while. But since then, I have moved and I don't have a PO box, so I don't do like mail time videos, which were kind of popular. Maybe I should
Hmm.
bring that back. But those are
That
a
was
lot
your
of work.
fans.
Yeah. A lot of the fans would send stuff in. The post office hated me because I would go there like once a week and just take massive amounts of boxes and packages out of there. But
Sometimes I see the videos and I see you being surprised with the guys send you, what everybody send you.
yeah,
You know,
I mean, that series, I probably did at least like 20 of those videos, and I can't even remember some of the ridiculous ones, but there was a lot of like stuff that took me by surprise for sure.
and I was like, I remember one time that your light broke and everything, and it was like everything that was like natural for you, my friend. When you do the unboxing and everything, that's why I think you are different from the other YouTubers, because you started drinking with your friends and always bringing a reason what to drink, and the way you always tell, oh, I just want to have a reason to drink. I see you when with the first 10,000 10k, and then with the 2420 the
Yeah.
24k and 110k, you always trying to bring something. But today the important thing is the PVs. You are one of the guys who make lots of reviews of skateboards in the beginning.
Yep.
Was the first thing you started? uh, what was the first board that you try in your
So
electro skateboard?
yeah, very early on in my channel, I think it was the second video ever, I moved to Boston, Massachusetts.
Hmm.
I wasn't doing YouTube full time. I had like literally almost 0 subscribers,
Hmm.
and I moved up there to a city that I was vaguely familiar with, but I didn't have a car. So I bought a Gen 1 boosted board, and I that's basically what made me like fall in love with personal electric vehicles, and I put hundreds and hundreds of miles on that board. So like for the first probably year of my YouTube channel, I'm exploring the city and I'm always riding an electric skateboard. So that is kind of how it started. And then as my job progressed outside of YouTube, I eventually ended up moving to South Beach, Miami. And same thing with Miami. I had a vehicle to get to work, but after work, I would come home and I would just take a skateboard out and ride up and down the beach and go everywhere on an electric skateboard. So because of that, it grabbed the attention of a lot of these manufacturers who were like, "Oh, we'd like to see you review our board." So next thing you know, I've got like 30 skateboards in my apartment and I'm testing all of them, giving like super brutally honest feedback on them because a lot of them are pretty decent, but some of them I had that were very bad and they just kind
And
of
I
failed.
know,
I'm like, can't recommend this.
yeah,
So
that's why I love to see your videos, because sometimes you say in your videos, hey guys, sorry, but I'm not going to make a review from this board because that is, I see that controllers was not okay, brakes was not okay. The I was surprised to see a YouTuber that normally the YouTubers, they put everything is beautiful, everything is perfect because they want to have more boards. And
yeah,
you,
I have no reason to lie about any of that stuff. Like even if you equate it to like the van stuff that I do now,
mhm, yeah.
I show living in a van the way a lot of people don't. Like they glamorify, or I don't know the word for it. They make it
Mhm.
seem very glamorous. And like one of the recent videos I posted, I was like, wait till you guys see this view. And I climb out of the van and I'm in a Walmart parking lot because that's like the reality of things. So I carry that same mentality into all of my videos. It gets me some hate from time to time because I'm just being honest. I'm like, this
Mhm.
product did not work for me. I don't like this. And I pride myself on that because it's just the reality of things. Some people may not experience the same stuff, but that's
Okay, let's put it this here. I know that you have like companies with you that you put in the beginning of videos. First of all was the Involve. You was riding a lot the Involve, and you was riding a lot the Mipo. You tried a lot the Mipo, and you tried the other board that today is not anymore with us. We are talking about companies from Australia. That was a machine, and you always talking about them. That was the Raptor. Uh,
yes.
do you have this board still today, or you
I
don't have?
I do. So the Evolve was the second board that I bought before I started getting the attention of
Hmm.
other companies. So I had the boosted board for a while, and then when I moved to Miami, I was like, I kind of want something new, different. and Evolve stuck out to me right away. So I have the GT, the Bamboo GT,
Mm-hmm.
still have that one. I still have my Gen 1 boosted board, and a lot of the Meepos, the Wowgos, and a lot of those other boards, I don't look at them as super like high quality. It's that they make great boards, but I tend to gravitate towards like, I don't want to say more expensive, but boards that seem more premium. So the Inertian Raptor was one that caught my attention just because of how powerful it was. I still have that one, but I know the company's no longer around, so I don't ride it. It's just in my garage. It kind of scares me a little bit. Um, the and we can talk about that stuff if you want, but
Yeah, of
yeah,
course, my friend. I know all the. I know Jason. I know the what happened. He was here in the interview. It's very sad that we lose a big company because
yeah,
we are today in level so big we can thank to him because the Foxbox that they create together with these engineers today they open the doors for lots of companies, and
mhm,
we see most of them, and I think that is, of course we can talk about that. It's not a problem. It's a company who close it was the reasons. I know why, but yes, it's a fantastic board, and I see the way you talk about the boards because I see lots of reviews like you testing with your friends, testing board with board, the categories and everything. And I think that in the beginning you don't see no YouTubers challenging a board against another board.
yeah. I did a big video when I had like a bunch of boards at once. We
Yeah,
did
I
like a
see it.
sort of head-to-head comparison, and there were some people who thought we could have done it differently. It was really just like off the cuff. I just piled all the boards in my van, went to an
Mhm.
open parking lot, and we just rode them all.
Yeah, I
Um,
see it.
the
I,
Raptor definitely came out on top with that, just because it's so powerful. Like I equate riding the Raptor to motorcycles, whereas like the Bamboo GTX is like a 600 sport bike, and
mhm,
then the Raptor is like a liter bike, like 1,000 cc's. The thing is just like constant power, super cool. The only thing that worried me about that is that over time, the urethane on the, I think both wheels started deteriorating, so it
mhm.
started chunking out, and that's one of the reasons why I don't really ride it as much anymore, or really at all. I don't ride electric skateboards a ton because
Mhm.
I'm more into like off-road stuff, but yeah, it's still a really cool board overall.
Yeah, but I know that you in Evolve was with a little province in the beginning. You have to send it back, and
Yeah,
that is a thing. But the service, I think, from Evolve, I'm very sad that we lose the busted board too. The company was a great board. I think one of the best boards in the market,
yeah.
flex and everything. And it's very sad that we lose a big company. And then we have to now. First question is that what do you prefer as deck? Stick decks or stiff decks or the flex decks for you,
So I
and
prefer
why?
a little bit of flex. I think mainly because it feels to me more like skateboarding roots. So like when you're riding a longboard, the boards that Boosted were originally using, I believe it was like a land yachts type of deck. I don't know if they sourced them from them or not,
Mm-hmm,
but it gives you a little bit more sort of like suspension. So it sucks
mm-hmm,
up bumps and cracks a little bit easier. I like the feeling of how they carve a little bit more as opposed to a really stiff, rigid deck. And yeah, I would probably opt for a flexier deck over a completely stiff deck like Boosted versus Raptor. Like the Raptor is super rigid, tons of batteries underneath. So the Boosted feels more like a skateboard to me.
mm-hmm. And of course, if you're going to put it like the flex, and you're going to put it like the Raptor was like. You cannot move the deck. The deck is carbon, and you feel everything, all the bumps and everything
Yep.
when you ride. Uh, uh, let's put it this way, and then when you try the first one, the one wheel.
Yeah. So I bought a one wheel on Black Friday. It's the only time they really do sales, and that was a few years ago. I bought the XR, and it was super interesting to me because right from pulling it out of the box, you can tell how premium of a product it is.
Mm-hmm,
And then the more I started using it, the more comfortable I got used to riding on trails and off road, which is much more comfortable than say like an all-terrain skateboard.
Mhm.
So I just fell in love with them. They're perfect for the type of adventuring that I like to do, like traveling the country, going to places where I don't know the road or trail situation.
Mhm.
It's just a good board to ride over any kind of terrain. So I had the XR, I eventually got the Pint, and then I developed a relationship with One Wheel. So then I got the Pint X when they did the announcement a few months back, and obviously just recently I went and rode the GT too. So
So you are a privileged guy because why? Because I know that Future Emotion is a not easy company to
mhm.
with guys, and when I see the video that you put out from the GT, I was like, wow, that was like you deserve it. First of all,
Thank you.
I think yes, you have to say. I think sometimes if you speak, you have to take care of your words when you speak. I think that is a nice coffee, huh?
Yeah, yeah, it was good. I don't drink coffee very often, but
I know you
Verve
said in
came
the
out
video.
and yeah, that was
I
nice.
don't. And first of all, I see the way you talk about. I think that is important for the guys of the one wheels. I don't know if you can talk now today everything you want. I know that you're going to come out with a new video to explain everything, but you tell one thing in a video that I think was very important, that you say, if I go for the GT to the Pint, I'm going to stay with the GT. If I go to the GT, if to the Pint X, I'm going to stay with the Pint X. If I go
Yeah.
to the XR to the Pint X, Pint X, I'm going to stay with the Pint X. If I go to the Pint X to the GT, I'm going to stay with the GT. What is the difference from you from this four? Because you tried the four of them.
Yeah, so I have the 3. I have the XR, the Pint X, and I'm still waiting on my GT.
Yeah, but you
So
try it.
yes, yes, I've tried all of them. I've probably ridden maybe 10 miles or so on the GT like throughout this weekend in the video that's playing right now. Um, so what I like about the one wheel is, like I said, you can ride them anywhere. So when it came to the
So,
comparison between the XR and the Pint, I would prefer the Pint just because it's more of like a trail machine
mhm.
and you can ride it anywhere for a longer distance than the Pint. I do like the Pint though because the tire is a little more rounded, so it's more maneuverable in like an urban environment. And then when they released the Pint X, it still gives you that maneuverability, but with the longer range. So XR versus the Pint X, that's why I would gravitate towards the Pint X. So I still have that long range, not maybe not as great on a trail because the tire is smaller, but it's more maneuverable too. And then now after riding the GT, that is like the best of all the worlds. So the tires are now like proprietary. They're made by One Wheel, which some people don't like. One Wheel has a ton of critics out there. People who love their product are they criticize them more than most people. Um,
I know that.
so the X or the GT longest range possible, which is insane. It's like 32 miles. And
Mhm.
then you have different option tires, a slick tire or a treaded tire, and it still keeps that concavity or
Mhm.
I guess convex. So it's a little more rounded. So it's kind of good for everything. It's not as flat as the XR tire. So it's a little more in between and it's sort of like best of everything. So I think the way they develop their products is kind of right in line with the natural progression of how you ride it, going from Pint to XR to Pint X and then up to the GT.
But was you expecting? So I'm going to try to explain. We live in Europe, and everybody. I was seeing the guys from uh, USA. Everybody's complaining that it's too late, and I'm expecting. So in Europe, we're just going to receive in June the
Okay, so
first.
yeah, it's still a while then.
So for us, it's like. Uh, when we listen to the guys, oh, we're going to receive 3 days later. Everybody don't know nothing here in Europe.
Yeah.
Europe, you are like the first person that we are talking live that can tell the experience. I know that you put a little in your video. I recommend to everybody to see the video. And I hope that you bring the second video, because sometimes I don't believe in everything I listen in videos. And like you tell something, it's very important what you said, not criticizing nobody. I'm just saying this. Sometimes there's companies there, they just want to sell this product. And I see most of the videos of One Wheel, and I think the critic is not so nice. And I think I was very surprised from your video and for the video of the other guys. When you tried the first time, the GT is very different.
It took a little while of riding, maybe like a mile or so, to really notice the differences, but especially off-road, the torque is the main thing that you notice. Every little bump and rock that you hop over, when compared directly to an XR, you can just feel the torque. So it kind of, it's like the XR, you kind of had to give it some love to like navigate around things, and the GT just has more torque, so it kind of pops right over stuff. And we're talking about just like a 1 horsepower difference, but on a small board like that, I mean, it's the biggest board they make, but on a relatively small, light product, 1 horsepower goes a long way. So
Yes.
that's definitely what I noticed first. Again, like people
Sensor.
who, yeah, the new
sensor.
sensors, they're very, so they changed the sensors. Before they were in like a almost parallel line. Now they're spread out like a hand.
Yes, because
So it's
in your video, I'm going to put here in your video. You can
yeah,
continue to speak, because
I
in your
kind of
video,
explained it there.
yes, for everybody who wants to see it, if you see here in this part of the video, you're going to see is going to talk about that, about the sensor. And
And you can tell, like when I touch the pads here, you can tell how quickly it activates just from like a finger. You can see the lights light up. The foot pads are nice. There's a few different options. They added like the hump in the rear, which other people are taking credit for. Right there, you can see how it's sort of like a mustache shape. It's like a W.
is that
That
good?
I personally like that, because
I
when
changed
you're
my I changed mine because I was afraid maybe that is not so good, because in the beginning when I buy it, I buy it. I'm waiting.
yeah.
And then I was like, is that good? Then I called the guys and I say, okay, change it. Is that so good?
So I personally like it as a more aggressive rider, like riding in places like this. What's good about it is that on a flat pad like XR, if you don't have any if you don't have any swoop in the back, if you don't have like any other kind of surface other than a flat pad, when you're carving aggressively, you're on a flat plane, so your foot tends to slide a little bit. You only get traction from the grip tape. And if you've ridden one wheels, you'll know that when you're carving like really hard toe side, you want to kind of dig your toe in so your heel comes up, and then vice versa. When you're going heel side, your heel goes into the board. So having that extra hump in the middle kind of like locks your foot in. You basically jam the ball of your foot into that little valley on the sensor, and it just gives you more grip. So I think it would also probably help leg fatigue. Like when you ride one wheels 20 miles or more, you can really feel it in your legs. So I think that that love hump is what Future Motion and One Wheel is calling it. I think that is something that I would definitely want on my own board once I eventually get one. So I don't know when I will get a board, but once I do, I'm gonna ride it a bunch and bring out a full video on that for sure.
Okay, we talk about a little of the specs. I think everybody have to wait and see the next video from him and see the first ride and impressions from him. I think you're going to be amazed. He's going to tell you everything. The other thing, weight is
it's significantly heavier, a couple pounds heavier. The Pint X is actually almost the same weight as the XR. And because it's a little bit smaller, it didn't feel as cumbersome. So when picking it up and carrying it, just because it's 20% smaller all around, it didn't really feel as heavy. The XR or the GT is definitely heavier than the XR because obviously there's more batteries in it.
Yeah.
But the weight is never something that bothered me because when I'm riding the XR, I'm generally not carrying it very often. So if you're looking for something like to ride around in a city where you're going to be walking into coffee shops and stuff like that, the Pint X would probably be the best option for you. The GT, on the other hand, more power, more torque, longer range, but it's going to be more cumbersome to carry around with you too.
And for you, my friend, let me put this way: what you put in your car when you have all of them?
Right now, the XR.
XR.
Yeah, still traveling around with the XR over the Pint X, mainly because of the flatter, wider tire. So if I am riding around in an area that I know, then I would probably opt for the Pint X. And you can ride the Pint X on trails too. I just prefer a wider tire of the XR. So when I travel around, like when I went to that one wheel event, I brought my own personal XR and I had that in the van the whole trip. So it just suits me a little bit better for the unknown, not knowing where I'm going to ride, not knowing what the trails are going to be like or pavement, whatever it may be. So yeah, I could easily swap out the XR for the Pint X though, and be completely happy with it too.
And the tire, the new tire, off-road tire, this tire that we're going to have a big problem, like us European, this tire is going to just to be in future emotion. We cannot find it in other place. Like me in Europe, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, and a lot of people kind of said their concerns about that in just that like initial ride video that I did. I think with the way the one wheel market is and all the aftermarket companies, I don't think it'll be very long until a company makes a compatible tire for it, because the market's there. And I mean, people are making like high dollar products for a very niche product like the one wheel. So I don't want to say for sure that it's going to happen, but if I had to guess, I would say within the year, like there will be another company out there making another option, because people are going to want that.
My friend, for me, is one of the things when they say the first time it's going to be just a tire that we made. I was like, ooh. Every time I need a tire, what I'm going to do to USA, that is not going to be a nice option for all of us. So then we're going to go to another thing. A-bikes, my friend.
Yes.
How many A-bikes do you have today?
Right now, I have technically two. I have one electric mountain bike, like a specialized, full-blown, dedicated mountain bike. But when it comes to like personal electric vehicles, I only have truly one bike. I sold the rest, and I found the one that I personally love. I haven't done a video on it yet, but a couple months ago, I went to a local bike shop here in Denver, Colorado, and they had a bike that I wanted for a long time. So I eventually ended up buying a Super 73 XR with the gray and green paint scheme. And the thing is so cool. I can't wait to make a video on it. I just need the weather.
You have the 73?
Yeah, I got a Super 73 RX.
My friend, I have one too, and I love that. That is the...
It's so good. It's kind of like if Boosted was still around. Boosted, I would hold to that high standard of like really good product, premium product. And then all the other ones are good boards, but it doesn't have that premium feel. I've been testing a ton of electric bikes recently.
I know.
And the Super 73, after testing that, like no hookup on it. Like I just bought it because I had seen them and I was like, wow, this product looks really good. So I bought it and I'm super happy with it so far. Hopefully I can go out and ride it today, actually.
Yeah, my friend, it's totally... I'm planning to put my second battery. I want to have two batteries that I can have more range.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, I'm planning to do. And but I think that is interesting, because I was out. Let me know with a little, because I was going to talk about the Sohan, because you have two types of Sohan. You have the normal one and you have this black edition.
Yep. That's true. I do still have the Suron, but I don't consider that an electric bike. I consider that an electric motorcycle.
That is like that's what I'm going to say, because today you have so many things inside, and if you change it, you don't need to change it, because the 2022 is like a motorcycle.
Yeah,
you have everything. It's like a motorcycle. You cannot consider a bike anymore. First of all, you don't have no pedelecs. You don't have nothing. That is
right.
a motocross small bike. But talking about that, what is the difference that you see? I see the video for you guys who want to see it. He has a video with the two different types. What is the difference from you from one Sauron to the other one?
So I haven't ridden like the newest version of it. I got my Suron probably last October last year. So they incrementally change them over time. They'll improve suspension, maybe do something with the electronics, but I bought that thinking like maybe that will be like the best e-bike for me. But then after riding it, I was like, this thing is not an e-bike. This is an electric motorcycle for sure. Mainly
Mhm,
because of the pedals. So like all the bike trails around here,
mhm.
I can get away with riding the Super 73 on those trails, which is why I eventually bought one. The Suron, on the other hand, does like roughly 50 miles an hour. And if someone sees me riding that on a bike path, like people are not going to like that.
Yeah, of
And
course, you're going to have problems.
yeah, I totally understand it. So the Suron is great though. Like the price has been going up over the past couple of years. I should have bought it when it was like before the last price
Mhm,
hike, but man, super fun. I bought it like just as winter was about to hit here in
mhm.
Colorado. So this summer I will hopefully be able to bring that thing on some adventures with me. Great camp vehicle. It should be pretty cool.
Guys, we are not doing no propaganda for the 73, but guys, I love the 73 as a bike that you can do everything you want. You have the option to make the gas hand gas? Do you
Oh,
have it?
like a twist throttle?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it's completely stock. I haven't done anything to it yet,
I
but
put it in mind. I never use it, but sometimes I use it, and that's why you need the second battery, because
yeah.
you then you go with this big wheels and you pedal and you can go everywhere, and you don't need more than 45. I don't know how many kilometers is for you guys. For
Mine
us
does
in
about 31 miles per hour.
31 miles. Here for us is 50 kilometers per hour. So
Okay.
that is the same. That's going to be. But if you go to the, when you come to 45, 40, no, 50, 45% of the battery, you're going to get 5 kilometers less, about
Yeah.
2 miles less than you know. But I think, guys, that is a machine. Uh, for you, my friend, then we have electro motors. You have lots of them that you tested. I want to say this because everybody's going to see the video later. Uh, uh, First of all, I want to say to everybody, sorry, I put the hour to 9 o'clock, and he tell me, Nelson, that is something wrong, and
Yeah.
we started 1 hour before. For everybody's going to see later the video. I'm very sorry. That was my. I think that is a problem from seeing the different times. Is in USA, I'm in Europe, but the important thing, uh, I know that you have motors with gasoline, Husqvarna, alles motors. I see lots of them that you have. Then you have the electro motors.
Mhm.
Do you think the electro motors is going to be the future, or do you still love this noise and this old style of motors like we have?
So I don't think electric vehicles will ever completely take over my love for just
Hmm.
motors in general. Um, I am a firm believer in it though. Like I would say I'm like kind of an early adopter of electric stuff just based off of like riding skateboards for a long time. So skateboards are what initially got me interested in it. And then the further I went down the rabbit hole, I became more interested in actual electric vehicles like Teslas.
Hmm.
And I have somewhat recently been able to drive a Tesla.
I
And
see it.
after that experience, I was like, man, like this is a really cool and good product. I think there's still a lot more refinement that needs to happen before they're very widely adopted, and I don't think it'll ever get to a point where I would pick a electric vehicle over a gas vehicle just for like sustainability. Like I know how to work on
Hmm.
motors, and I feel like the opportunity for repair of a mechanical motor for most people is going to be a little bit easier than electric motors.
Hmm.
So I would rather work on my I don't have a car right now, but if I was working on a gas powered car as opposed to a Tesla, I would feel more confident in working on a gas engine than an
Mhm.
electric motor.
And for you, my friend, put it this way. You think, for me, I always tell we need more, maybe 10 to 15 years to have more, the evolution of electric come to the point that we say, okay, that is enough. That is okay for us. Because, like in Europe, there's a big discussion. They always ask us, is that the right time to buy a electro car or electro bike? Because the batteries are not, how can I say?
They're
Most of
not
the
like
people,
fully developed.
yes. Everybody's asking, but like me, I was in an event with my friends, and one guy buy a car that costs is around 200,000 euros.
Hmm.
The- You can put it $200,000, the same. And I have a car not so expensive, and you have to stop 2 times to uh, charge the batteries.
Hmm.
And I was in my event, and he came close to 4 hours later.
Oh wow, yeah. That's another thing too. Like the power grid needs to be able to make electric cars make sense for people. Um, and then also when it comes to like figuring out is it the right time to buy that, that's why I have not bought an electric car yet, just because I haven't seen the infrastructure there to give me like peace of mind knowing that I'm driving an electric vehicle. If you're driving across the country, you have to plan your route. Like you said, it's generally going to take a lot longer. Um, with gas prices now today, though, like a lot of people are going to be thinking about these things. So that's kind of why I've been into
But
skateboards and bicycles, because it's an easier price point to get into.
but my friend, let's put it this way. Don't forget the price of the in a moment is higher, but that is a moment is going to happen.
Right.
And if you change, if I always tell to my friends here, everybody's talking the same like to. Maybe I'm going to change to electric car, and I say to everybody, guys, give it a little more time. The war is not going to stay forever. We hope that that goes very fast away, and then the price is going to go down again, and then you buy something that I think that's not enough evolution for that. We need more than that. But taking this out, I just want to make a question, because I never see a video from you, and I have a curious. I have something very. Do you never try a AUC, a
I get
electro
asked.
unicycle?
Yeah, I get asked about them a lot. I've stepped foot on one time when I lived in Miami. It may have been like very briefly in an electric skateboard video.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was around the same time that a guy let me ride his Inertian Raptor for the first time, and I know that I could definitely ride one if I just had a day to myself
Mm-hmm.
to learn how to ride it. But the price point on those are a lot higher, and something about it just never stuck out to me. I don't know if it's like the riding position. It's really
Mm-hmm.
weird having your feet directly together as opposed to riding like a snowboard or a skateboard. Um, I don't particularly like the way that it
But
looks.
don't forget one thing. You are a guy who makes ski,
Yeah, that's
and
true. I
that
do
is the
ski.
position for you, my friend. That is the same position. I see lots of videos. You are very good doing with ski and everything. And the position from the unicycle, electric unicycle, is the same position. That
Yeah.
is. That's why I ask myself, why you never make something like try it? Because I know that you go every year, and you love to make this ski sports,
Hmm.
and you go with your friends. And I was asking myself, why they don't? Is I'm going to tell you, there is 6 months I start to try it. Was the difficult from all the electro device I had,
For sure.
and but when you do it, and I think that is everything from your head. I think one day later you are riding, and is a different feeling. of riding. I think for me, from all of them, I think that is the future. Is this one because you can go to everywhere and you can put like your baggage because you have this hand uh,
Yep,
and
the
what's the name
handle.
handle, and it's easy. But I prefer. I'm going to tell you this. I prefer my skateboard and I prefer my one wheel.
Yeah,
For
that's the reason why I haven't bought one yet, is just because I love skateboards and one wheels and bikes so much, and EUC is so drastically different. So I'm not going to say that I'll never review one, but I will pretty confidently say I will never buy one. If an electric unicycle company emails me and they're like, "Hey, do you want to test this out and review it?" I
watch it.
might say yes. I
But
might be like, "Yeah, send it over.
watch it.
Give me like a month to figure out how to ride it, and
don't
then
don't don't say that. You know that they are always seeing the videos, and maybe they're going to send you because you are a great YouTuber, and you know they're going to send you.
well, maybe I'll review one here soon then. I don't know."
I hope, my friend. So for all the PVs that you ride, my friend,
Mhm.
who is the most special one till today for you?
The most
That you
special
say,
one that I still own is probably my Gen 1 boosted board, which
mm-hmm,
has been in my garage for a super long time. It probably is completely dead. I would need to like push start it to allow the
mm-hmm,
batteries to charge. Mainly because that was my first one. It's a really great product, even today. I like the belt driven motors, and I put more miles on that than I've put on basically everything else combined. So I really, really like that board, even though it's not really as operable as it once was. And then if I would take one that I actually still ride today, it would definitely be a one wheel based off of like what everything I've said already. So like the XR, basically any one wheel. I just really like how versatile they are for all kinds of riding. And it's just a great bomb proof product.
I'm going to put it this way: you as a rider, are you ever try to go in a group ride, or you are alone, a lone rider?
If so, I have done a group ride in Miami when I lived like in the city. There was like a group of electric skateboard people, and I did a video on that. We just kind of rode around, and it was great. For the most part, I am riding by myself. I travel solo quite often, but if I'm ever traveling and someone happens to have a one wheel, like I'm always down to ride around. It's way more fun riding with friends than it is just cruising around by yourself. So.
Then the other question, now that you are talking about the one wheel today, the new GT, the lights is better. What type, what I always see most of the time you're riding in a day, you are a rider more for the day, or you like to ride in the evening too?
Yeah, I typically ride during the day, just because I'm filming videos and stuff like that. When I was in Miami, I would ride at night quite often, just because I would work 9 to 5,
Hmm.
come home, and then it's dark out. If I had to choose, I would prefer to ride during the day. That way, you can take in your surroundings a little bit better. But I'm not opposed to riding at night. It's just something that I don't do because mainly I'm riding by myself, so
Other
a little
question,
safer.
street or off-road?
Mainly off-road, just because where I live now, I'm generally not in cities. I'm not a city person at all. So a lot of times I'm riding in very rural areas, mountains, trails. So I would prefer that. However, when it comes to electric skateboards, I'm not a huge fan of all-terrain skateboards with like bigger pneumatic tires. I would prefer an electric skateboard on the street, as opposed to riding a one wheel on the street.
Hmm.
But most of my riding is kind of outside of cities, so that's kind of why I gravitate towards the one wheel more often than an electric skateboard.
Yeah, where you come from, and I see most of your tests. You was always in your small village. It's not so big, and you have this hill that you always test your boards there, and
Yep.
that's why I see you most of the time. You always with street boards, but uh, for you, my friend, carving or speeding?
Oh, I don't think I have a preference. I love both. I love going as fast as possible, but also carving is probably more fun, just because you're it feels like surfing or
Hmm.
snowboarding. So I would probably prefer carving at like a high speed. Um,
Yeah, I think too, my friend.
yeah.
Then the other question is like this: do your girlfriend uh, ride electro PVs?
So I have tried to get her on board with it, and I've put her on electric skateboards. I put her on one wheels, and she doesn't love it because there is a learning curve to it. She never grew up like skateboarding or anything like I did. So,
They don't have
um,
a background like you.
yeah, so we actually have a really nice day right now. It's almost like 60 degrees outside, which is
Ooh.
rare for this time of year. So she's gonna get home from work here soon, and I kind of want to put her on a one wheel because I have three one wheels right now,
Hmm.
and I love traveling with them because it's just a cool way to get around. So I might throw a helmet on her and teach her how to ride again, but it's
I
definitely
think
a
that's
learning curve.
Yeah, I think you have lots of good tastes. I think we need people like you. First of all, I just want to say I don't want to make this big. I wanted everybody to come and see and know you a little better about your PVs. I think is lots of stuff. I'm just going to say stuff and things. That is his name. That is the name I know him today. I know that he has SEI Productions and he has lots of things. This man don't stop working. Is like doing all. If you go to his YouTube channel, Instagram, guys, is you're going to every day you're going to have something new. And is a very versatile guy, a guy
Yeah.
who can do lots of things. When you see the first video when he made in the beginning, I always look to him and he said the important thing. I'm not just a guy who just do one type of things. I try to mix cars, guns, knives, rides, motors, everything he has inside. And now he's traveling, and you can see what he's doing with his van or with his jeep. I don't know. Do you have your pickup or not
Yeah,
anymore?
I have a Tacoma, yeah,
Okay.
so some of those videos, I built that out over the past couple of months, and there's gonna be a lot of travel in that this coming summer.
When are you going to receive back your van? Your van?
I have my van and my truck here. The van that I've been traveling
Uh
over
huh.
the past 2 weeks in,
Mm-hmm.
that was a loaner van, so I was just kinda testing that out for the company.
Mm-hmm.
I may be working with them some more, so a lot of vehicle stuff, cars, trucks, vans, overlanding, camping, and as soon as the weather gets nicer like it is today, I'll hopefully get back into more motorcycles and electric vehicles.
My friend, you have lots of stuff. When you buy your like your pickup, do you ask this camouflage or extra, or is something that comes as standard for the?
That's all stuff that I've done. So the truck
Okay.
was completely stock. Like there's a video of when I first picked up the truck, and then I got the wrap, the camouflage wrap, suspension, wheels, tires, and I've built it out basically to travel around here in Colorado up in super high altitude mountains and to basically live out of, camp out of.
I'm going to put it this in a best way. So I live in Europe. I live in Germany. Is one place that we have Jägermeister,
Yeah.
and you live in America. You have the whiskey. I know that you like the two of them.
Yep.
Who is the best one for you?
Man, early on, I would say Jägermeister. Like I showed you, I'm sitting in my office right
Yeah,
now. I've got a Jägermeister tap machine right
I see
here.
the video when you received you
Yeah,
test it, and you was with your girlfriend, and you say we have to see if the temperature is going to be okay or not. And
yeah.
I love the test of you guys testing. And
Yeah, I definitely drink more whiskey now than Jägermeister, but early on I still will drink Jägermeister, but I don't drink it quite as often as you would see in my early videos.
Mhm. That
Still
is,
love it though.
I know that you love. I just want to say, first of all, my friend, you have a big channel. Thank you for coming here to support this small channel. We just make interviews with riders, people who love this PV sport. The intention is for us to bring a little more information, not you as a YouTuber, because I know that you are very well recognized. I love your job. I know. I can tell you, in my beginning, I follow you a lot. I remember seeing this board that you told that you can ask the board in this company and they make the board like you want it. I was very interesting to buy this board. I don't know the name of the board, but I was very interesting to buy the board. But because of the Europe and America, you pay so much taxes.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Sometimes you don't buy it something from Europe because I think it's very sad we don't have one wheel company. There is
Hmm.
the one wheel that not exist in Europe. You have to buy from a second handler guy. You
Yeah.
have other boards from like Kelly boards, Lacra, everything you have in USA is so expensive. You're going to pay like the double of the price. Is the
Right.
same. I know that you have Uskvarna. You have some things from Europe. Is the same for you guys when you buy something from Europe? You have so many taxes.
Yeah, it's probably pretty similar. I'm fortunate to live in America where we do have access to a lot of these companies that unfortunately Europeans don't. Um,
Sorry.
my Husqvarna was definitely a more expensive motorcycle, but not really based off of taxes or being that they're made in Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of just like it's a premium motorcycle. So um, we have dealers here, like my local dealer stocks Husqvarna
Mm-hmm.
products.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't. I feel like I don't personally feel that like taxation and stuff as much as people in Europe do, but
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely still there.
But tell me one thing: why is Kvarna? Most of the people in America is KTM, is Honda, Yamaha. Uh, uh, why Husqvarna? Because Husqvarna for us here in Europe is like the top of the top.
Yeah. So I went with that because I have owned so many motorcycles. I've been riding motorcycles longer than I've been driving cars, actually. So I
Mm-hmm.
got my license when I was 16, and I've had Hondas, Kawasaki's, Suzuki's,
Mm-hmm.
um, Kawasaki's. I actually sold. I had a 2020 ZX10R, which was
Mm-hmm.
like stupid fast, ton of power, and I downsized the bike to the Husqvarna because I've never owned one of their bikes before, but I've loved what they produced over the past couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So I went with that as opposed to a KTM or a Honda equivalent, mainly because they make some of the best motorcycles out there, and it's basically like a street dirt bike, which is perfect for how I like to ride now, like up in the mountains, twisty back roads.
Mm-hmm.
It's my first bike from them, and
Mm-hmm.
so far I love it. I can't ride it right now because I have a nail in my tire, but
Ooh.
I ordered one. It should be here this week, and then I'll replace that, and then I should be able to ride all through spring and summer. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be making more videos on that bike too.
So, my friend, I just going to ask you something. Are you starting now your journey with this new journey of traveling and having so good time all over the country and never stopping and doing so much crazy with your van? Is something that you're going to do a lot?
Yeah, so for the past I bought a van after I quit my job and did YouTube full
Mm-hmm.
time, and I lived in it for about 2 to 2.5 years. And I was literally no house, just lived out of the van on the road. And it was such a great experience.
Mm-hmm.
So now I built this house here in Colorado, which is kind of central in
Mm-hmm.
America. And it allows me to use my house as a home base to store all my vehicles. I have an office to work out of. And then just because I own a house, though, it doesn't mean my travel is slowing down. Like I just got back from a 2 week trip. I will be home for a little while, but in the beginning of April or the beginning of May, I'm taking my Tacoma that I recently built, and I'm going to be on the road for probably a month or two in that. So I love traveling so much. There's like America is such a huge country with so much to
you,
offer,
you have
and
so much things there to see, my friend. I think
yeah,
you're never
just
going to stop it.
Just outdoor stuff in general, man. I'll do anything I can to be outdoors.
And I think, like in Europe, like you, my friend, I'm talking about events today because you have lots of electronic inside, and I'm telling this in Europe is starting to be the same like you. Maybe they see your products. There is lots of people buying the same vans because it's not a big one, and you can travel and you can park everywhere and you can go everywhere. And you see Mercedes coming a lot with this type of vans
Yep.
because it's easy. And for you, my friend, is this experience something that you going to, because I think you're going to update every time you have your van. You're going to do always new things inside.
Yeah.
Do you think that is going to be something we're going to see more in the future for the young people who are going to
For
start to travel?
for sure. So, I mean, because of like the pandemic and
Hmm.
everything, a lot of people started working from home and then they got the desire to travel. So, the unfortunate thing with that is prices and inflation. Like vans, just a bare bones 4x4 Mercedes Sprinter is insane. Like they're so expensive now. So it basically comes down to I'm actually posting a video next Friday comparing the van that I was loaned for 2 weeks to my van. And in that video, I mentioned there's like two demographics of people who are even able to purchase a vehicle like that, who want to travel and live out of full time. It's the people who don't own a house and they're
Hmm.
using their house money to get into one of these vans, which
Hmm.
is how I started originally. And then
Why
on
do
the
you
other,
start it?
I started because I was an IT consultant traveling around the country. I would move to a new city every
Hmm.
like 6 to 9 months, and I lived super minimally. So like I didn't have a ton of material possessions, and I was just always on the road, and I loved that, like seeing new places, meeting new people, experiencing new things. So once I quit my job and decided to tackle YouTube full time, that gave me the most freedom possible. So I was like, I'm going to capitalize on this and go full bore into it. So I was saving money to eventually build a house, but um, I was
That's
like,
but you
I was
have a
like,
house.
I do now. Yeah. Previously I lived with my family. But I was like, instead of building a house or buying a house, I'm going to buy a van. And it was a huge investment. We're talking like house money, like down payment for a house. And I bought the van knowing well that I was going to use it and live out of it. So I did that for 2.5 years, built up the savings that I had spent on the van,
Hmm.
and then I was able to buy this house now. Um, so you have the people like me originally who are like, I'm going to do this full time. I'm going to spend a bunch of money to really use this van. On the other side of the spectrum, there's people who just have an excess of money, a huge disposable income, and they just buy a really nice van to use on
Hmm.
the weekends and to use a few times a year. Like the general RV crowd is basically the other side of that spectrum. So it's not for everyone, especially in
Because you
today's
started
market.
because you started with the Subaru.
Yeah, I was traveling around. I had two different Subarus. I had a
Hmm.
STI, like a sports car, and then
Hmm.
I bought the Crosstrek as well. So I had both of those,
Hmm.
and I spent most of my time in the Crosstrek because I would load up the back and move to a new, like,
Yeah,
really
I
small
remember.
studio apartment.
And I remember when you are with the Subaru, and I say, "What the Subaru? They are making this." And I just want to say to another person here, yeah, I remember the your videos with the reviews from the Raptor. Yeah, I think that was one of the best things we have because they make lots of reviews of the Raptor, and that was very good for the community. But Raptor is not anymore there, and you don't sell your board, my friend. That is a very special one, no?
I know I can't sell it. No one would appreciate it for what it
Yeah,
is, so I'll
that,
just
that
keep that
you,
one.
sometimes you have to the busted board.
Hmm.
I think I'm very sad that we don't have it no more. I think that
I know.
is the best from the best, but sometimes they make mistakes and they have to live with that. They make the stupid thing to do this scooters to
Yep.
try. They expend the money in other things when they could invest it in boards. It's very sad. So, my friend, we are close to 1 hour. I hope now that I'm going, like always, I leave you with the last words for your community, for the guy, for the person who's going to see this video later. Thank you so much for coming here, and I'm very proud to have you here. Uh, for everybody's out there, go there, subscribe. We are not a big channel, but if you are, I think you're going to love his content. He has lots of things. You have, if you want, if you have a question or something like that, he's a person who always very active to give the answers for all of you, more than me, because most of the times I forget about to answer the questions.
Yeah, I read all my comments,
Yeah, I
even
know.
still today.
I read my comments, but sometimes my friend is like this. I I I don't do that as a profession. I see you in the beginning when you start to do YouTube. I remember from you that you was always thinking, should I give up my job and do this full time? That is a big step you have to take. And
Huge step. Yeah.
yes, and I was thinking, okay, for me, I have my profession. I just do this for helping the community, and I'm very proud to have you today here because I think you are a fantastic writer. You are a fantastic guy who makes amazing reviews for the PVs. You help a lot the community of PVs. I hope that there is more people like you that make this type of reviews. Don't go just for a ride and show the tricks and everything. Sometimes we need persons who give a nice review and tell it the truth, because I know you give the truth to the community and say, okay, that is good, that is not good. And that's what we need, because if we are buying something, we have to know if that is a good product. The person who sells it is going to say, is fantastic, the product, but sometimes it's not like that. uh,
Yeah.
and it's money we spend. For my side, guys, thank you so much for coming. Don't forget, tomorrow is German interview. Oh, I just want to ask you something before. How is
Mhm.
the laws in Colorado for riding electric PVs,
I
like
haven't
skateboards?
Yeah, I haven't seen many issues. Colorado is a very outdoor driven state, so a ton of people riding bikes. I see electric bicycles all the time. I haven't had any issues, especially if you're like downtown in the city.
Hmm.
I think it's kind of encouraged
And in
because you're
Miami, was good, was okay.
Miami was good. Yeah, I never had any issues. I actually haven't had any issues basically anywhere that I've lived or ridden. So, um, granted, I'm being respectful as I'm riding around, like not speeding, ripping past people on sidewalks. So, yeah, I think as long as you ride with caution and you respect other people, I think the laws are pretty good here.
I'm going to make like a funny and very nice question. I know that you love knives. Uh,
Mhm.
uh, do you think we're going to see one day a electro knife?
I don't know how that would work, but I did just make my own like custom knife that I carry with me every day.
Let me see.
Uh, this is one that I designed with a small knife maker
Wow.
out of my hometown. So it's just like a little camp knife. You can cook with it, open boxes. Like I got a bunch of packages over
Uh-huh.
here. So electric knife, I don't know what that would look like, but the possibilities are definitely there for sure.
Electro butterfly.
Yeah,
We never know.
that would be
So,
nice.
guys, if you want to see, he has lots of things. I just make the joke of the knives because I know he has a big collection of knives. He has a big collection of lots of things. I just want to say for all of you who came, thank you. Hello, Australia. How are you, my friend? I just want to say to all of you, have a good day, a good night. I leave you with the last words, my friend. Like always, you have the last words for your community and for everybody come to see the video later.
Yeah.
Please.
Well, thanks for having me, man. That's where you can find me. You can find me Instagram, all social media at TALON SEI. And yeah, man, I'm glad to be a part of this community, and hopefully I can help some more people out in the future.
I hope that you make lots of good content for all of us like today. I hope that you have in 1 or 2 years you have the SEI Productions very big stuff and things. Don't stop. That is one of the best names
We
you
ain't
can put
stopping.
it. And say hello to your girlfriend and future wife. I hope
Will do.
she is one of the person who help you a lot. I think you have a very nice person together with you, and that's what makes us very good. I have a very strong person here. For everybody's out there, thank you so much, and we see us in the next live.